Good morning and welcome to the Forex Market Wrap from Pepperstone. It's Monday the 31st of July and I'm Darren Sinden. Let's take a look at overnight changes, price moves we need to be aware of. I just want to focus on a couple of things here. First of all, on Friday night, the dollar index closed at 93.2590, down a further 0.7% on the day. Euro Swiss franc, 113.81 was the finish on Friday. Of course, we talked about that a couple of times last week. Euro strength, franc weakness. And just a reminder of where we are in dollar yen. The dollar has ceded 5.4% year to date against the Japanese yen. Very interesting when one considers the interest rate differentials, if I can say that, between the two nations and the likely path of US interest rates over the balance of 2017 and into 2018. Now we'll move back to the Swiss franc, perhaps I should say, and have a chart here of Swiss franc versus the US dollar. You've got to be a pretty sickly child, I'd suggest, to be losing ground to the dollar in the current market, but that's what's happened against the Swiss franc. This downtrend line clearly exemplifies what's happening. We've got some horizontal support I've penciled in here with the green dotted line. This is one to keep an eye on. Definitely I would suggest over the course of the coming week, and I would say we look for the franc to weaken further against the dollar. Okay, what's on the calendar? Events that may move the market. Let's just take a closer look here. So we've already had some data out of China, which we'll come to in a moment. But to come in Europe, we have at 8:30 mortgage approvals and consumer credit for June from the UK. At 9 o'clock GMT, we have unemployment and CPI data out of the Eurozone. At 10 GMT, we'll see the start of the Bank of England inflation report hearings in the UK Parliament. And then this afternoon at 13:45 and 1400 GMT respectively, we'll have the Chicago PMI index, pending home sales, and the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Business Index. Right, let's look at breaking news or comment that's caught my eye. First of all, the Russian-USA sanctions row has heated up, with diplomatic headcount sharply reduced. And what's happened here is that the Russians have said that up to 755 US diplomats must leave Moscow. Chinese manufacturing PMI data was out earlier. The manufacturing data was weaker in July, coming in at 51.4 versus the forecast of 51.6. And the non-manufacturing PMI data also eased to 54.5 versus the prior 54.9 read in June. The Bank of England will today try to prevent the first strike by staff in 50 years, due to start tomorrow. And splits have appeared among UK ministers over the possibility of a Brexit transitional period for business. Okay, food for thought, something to take away with you into the weekend. Iron ore prices have jumped sharply overnight, up 7.3% on improving Chinese construction data. Are we seeing a wider reboot of commodity prices helped by the weaker dollar? When we consider that the CRB commodity index was itself up 3.1% last week. Here's the iron ore chart even, and you can see the direction that that's taking. Right, please take a moment to read this risk warning and disclaimer. Trading CFDs and FX on margin can be a risky business. If you're in any doubt about the risks involved, please contact your Pepperstone account executive. Thank you for your time today, and we look forward to speaking to you tomorrow.